I think there was definitely a heightened sense of urgency. You can say that playing Gainesville is just like any other game, but kids aren't foolish. They know what was at stake, and they knew that we were going uh, into a hostile environment. It was one of those weeks that you actually enjoy being a coach because you're not out there motivating. They're going to be out there with a sense of urgency. They're going to want to put their best foot forward. When they show up to the game, they're going to be focused. There's not any playing on the bus. It's a very, very not tense environment, but it's a calm environment. It's a heightened sense of things. And it was that week all through practice. All through practice that week, there was a heightened sense of urgency that we knew we had something to prove and something to do.
It's definitely a little bit different. We practiced on a different field. We had the elephant noise playing constantly. I felt like it's a lot like when we went down to Florida, like that preparation of knowing that you're going to play a team that can compete with you and can probably beat you. So I feel like the intensity was a lot quicker, and so was the tempo.
The guys were excited. It was a big game, and everybody knew it was a big game. And so leading up to it, like, I know our kids are really excited, and it's about, just making sure they're focused and dialed in on the right stuff. But it wasn't real hard to get the kids up for that one. Like, everybody was pretty juiced. And we felt really good about just as coaches, like, going in with the game plan that we had.
Practice was very, very stressful, kind of. It was intense. We had a lot of music playing. It was very fast-paced. They wanted us to stay focused, stay locked in, be ready for that game.
It was a little more precise, and we tried to hone in our skills and in an uncomfortable environment and try to just get used to it. And going to Florida kind of helped and made us more accustomed to playing in an environment we're not familiar with or close to home. So we also we went up to a practice field and played there instead of on our stadium to get more accustomed to being somewhere that's not comfortable and where we usually play.
Relationships are extremely important as a coach. Every player is different. Back in the old days, they used to say, treat everybody the same. I don't think in our modern times that's relevant anymore. I want to have a relationship. I want to know if you're a guy that I need to yell at to motivate, or I want to know if you're a guy that I need to joke around with and calm down. I want to know if you're a guy that needs intense encouragement at all times. So I truly just try to develop those relationships and know what makes each individual player tick.
Overall philosophy is there's a lot of different ways to say the same thing, but it's just getting everybody on the same page. I've heard people say like 5 is 1, stuff like that, but ultimately like getting everybody on the same page. And I tell the guys at the time, like, if we're on the same page, we can't be wrong. So that's the biggest thing. That's what you're working towards all the time, is just making sure everybody's one unit or one cohesive unit.
So a lot of the guys I think in the locker room think we sit around, I don't do a lot or whatever, but I do spend a lot of time focusing on my craft. I have obviously go out there for punt and field goal every day, but I spend a ton of time stretching. I spend about probably 30 to 45 minutes each practice making sure I'm stretched out for the week. I spend a lot of time doing slow motion stuff, so making sure my form is correct. And I usually just go down to the end of the field and pull the field goal cover off, and I just used a little yellow bar, and I just slowly 5 seconds go through my entire snap to make sure everything clicks, and then I can translate that over later in practice to when we're actually punting, and that's my preparation through the week.
So like with the drills, so like we have drills that we do like every day, and like I tell them, we do it every day for a reason because it's important. Explaining why we do certain drills, and then every guy kind of gets their own instruction a little bit. So you have like your foundational drills that you do all the time, and obviously those are the most important. Like that's why you do them every day. And then you can give guys kind of next level stuff as they need it. So like a lot of times you'll get young guys, and it's they're just doing the basic stuff and they're just getting the body movement stuff worked out. And then with an older guy, you might talk about a hand placement thing or, a different angle or, just a phase 2 or phase 3 of it. And then like as the season progresses, you want your base drills to be kind of the phase 2, phase 3 of the drill, if that makes sense. And then as guys, just get more advanced at it, you give them little pointers like as you're going through.
So technique is huge to me. One of my cliches, and I try to use very few of them, is BIG does not spell BAD, meaning big doesn't spell bad. We go after a lot of guys that are bigger and stronger than us, and we pride ourselves on technique. We're going to out leverage you. We're going to out extend you. As far as strength goes, I think we got one of the best coaches in the business with Coach Woods in the weight room, and does a phenomenal job. So even if my guy's undersized, I know that I'm going to get him coached up on the technique, and Coach Woods is going to handle the strength component of it. Mental toughness, I think we do a great job from top to bottom, putting them in team competes, putting them in situations early on in the season that are challenging, and I think that just comes as we progress throughout the year.
Pretty good day handling just the chaos of a new turf field. We've never had a practice up here. Visual distractions are different. The playlist was on point today, so great job just battling through all of that. You're getting ready for a war. You're getting ready to go to battle. You should be ready to go on the flip of a switch. So I don't hate what I saw today. My only lesson is it's gonna be worse on Friday, man. Don't let it catch you off guard. It's gonna happen. They're gonna be in your ear. They're gonna be poking you. They're gonna be grabbing you. You're not gonna get a call. Who cares? Win between the whistles. Do not let them win that mental warfare. Don't let them do it. Look, my goal with playing the fight song today, the elephant horn, hey, I wanted you to hear it. Y'all should have a video circulating throughout your position groups of just the flashing lights and all that stuff. Like I said, I just want you to see it. Not there for the first time. Know what you're getting into. My challenge to you is if you're as tired of that song as I am, because I'm tired of it on loop for an hour. If you're as tired of that song as I am, make sure they don't have a reason to play it.
What is it like coaching with your brother?
It's incredible. It's something that me and him had talked about for a couple years. And then when he got the job, it worked out for me to come up here. And, I want to surround myself with great coaches. And
It's it makes it mean more. It makes it mean more when you're out there experiencing things together. We don't have to go to family cookouts and, hey, what's going on with your team type deal, or hey, did you see when we did this? Because we're going through it together.
You get to experience some things together that, like last year, the run that we had, getting to win a state championship together, his first as a head coach, my first ever, and then have our dad on the sideline who was a coach for a long time. Those are some of the moments that you don't know if you're ever going to get again, so it's nice to have those together.
I think we do a good job, and a lot of this came from probably just playing for our dad when we were in high school, of trying to separate ourselves as best as we can, just so we can be on the same team, the same staff, but also have our own relationships, still make our own path, and not be completely connected at all times. So it makes it more enjoyable, and I stand in front of the team all the time and I preach brotherhood and playing for your brothers, and not wanting to let them down, and want to help them achieve their goals. And it starts with me with him. I want to make sure that I'm coaching my best and my hardest, not only for myself but for him, and whatever I can do as a true brother, but also as a part of this coaching staff brotherhood to help him achieve everything he wants in life. It's something that I take seriously and I hold dear.
When we went to Miami, it really helped me kind of be able to look at the scenery and kind of time manage, because I was able to look at the scenery, listen to my music, but still lock in for the game in Miami. So when we went to Gainesville, I was able just to take in the scenery and still be locked in for the game.
We heard before that there was gonna be like a crazy light show. There's gonna be a big stadium, and I saw a picture briefly about it, but I never really saw the light show or anything. So when we got there, when you're looking at a high school stadium that is big as a JUCO, it's a little bit crazy. But I mean, in 8th grade, I played at Carrollton. They have that big press box too. So I think arriving there was a little crazier than I thought. But you know, back to what I was saying earlier, that routine, you just follow that same routine, and you know, you're able to block out all those distractions.
Initially the big stadium brought a kind of like a nervousness to the field and stuff like that, but we just went back to when we practiced in our experience in Florida and just kind of used that to help kind of guide us and make us more focused during the beginning of the game.
You know, I challenged our guys to lock in on their process, just focus on us, because there were so many distractions of that game. Just the hype, you know, it was a TV game, big, beautiful new stadium, great Jumbotron, music blaring, their team on the other side, you know, doing a pretty dynamic warm-up. So there was a lot of stuff to distract us visually from just getting ready to play. And I challenged our guys just to lock in and focus on you, focus on your team. And I'm watching us pregame, and our guys are doing that. They're not looking up at the new press box. They're not looking up at the Jumbotron. They're not looking across the field to see what the other team's doing. They're focused on themselves. They're looking straight forward, focused on their team and getting themselves and their units ready to play. And that was a moment that, you know, the game hadn't even started yet, but just gave me confidence that we were ready to go. We were locked in. We were there on a business trip, and we were ready to handle our business that night.
The first thought I had was their new stadium. It was pretty big, kind of a little bit intimidating. But as soon as I walked out, I'm like, this is nothing. We got this. We've played better teams, bigger teams. We're not worried about it. One of the main things we did was just always have music on. As always, gets the boys' nerves to calm down, and kind of gets us all jumping around, kind of talking. And where it just kind of calms down the nerves, brings our brotherhood together, makes us be able to connect to each other even better, and that kind of brings the nerves down for sure.
Hey, we know we're heading into a war, we're heading into a battle. If you're a dog, that dog comes out tonight. If you're a dude, you play like it tonight. If you're that guy, you play like him tonight. We know the narrative. We know the narrative is a big game because of them, this and that. All I know is they're in between me and everything that we want. They're in between me and you and everything that we want, everything that we dream of. We got the lights, we got the camera, we got the crowd, we got the music, all that stuff. It's our show tonight. It's our house tonight. Our show, our house. Our show, our house. Whose show? Our show. Whose house? Our house. Whose show? Our show. Whose house? Our house. Whose show? Our show. Whose house? Our house. Let's go to war, man.
When we ran out to the field and the lights were flashing and then a video went on, I was getting ready to hit kickoff, so that was a lot going on. Very different than most atmospheres we played in.
The first touchdown we had that Ethan scored kind of helped. It was memorable because it improved our morale and made us more upbeat because we went into an environment and we were kind of nervous, but it kind of made us feel like we had a better chance of winning and that it wasn't impossible.
in the Gainesville game, Braden Jacobs, he had a great block against number 8 on their team. It was just a big momentum shift. The energy on the sideline got really up.
I think the most memorable play had to be with Braden. We were coming out. It was the start of the second half, and we were coming out. We were deep in our own zone, and the clip ended up going viral. Okay, where he ends up, finishing a block. He gets his helmet ripped off, and he ends up finishing his block on a guy. And I remember talking to some people from back home, back in Washington, and they said that they saw it like on the Max Prep Twitter page, and like it had made its rounds viral too. So it's pretty cool to hear, some family and friends on the West Coast talking about it with me.
I mean, there's not much really to it. It's just I came off the ball, obviously I didn't hear a whistle, so I kept driving, didn't stop my feet, and just planted him in the ground. Got up and got all excited again. And I feel like that's really the play that turned the whole game, because my whole team got excited for me, and we all had energy for the rest of the game.
I'd say our second fake punt. We were coming out of halftime. The game was looking a little bit closer than I think we wanted to. That second fake punt really, I think it's like a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, and we just got over the line to get that first down. I think we ended up scoring on that drive, actually. But I feel like that was really important to me and probably our whole team, because that gave us a little bit more momentum that we needed to continue that second half.
Man, so that game was definitely one that you want to be a part of. Incredible atmosphere, region game, so lots on the line. So many big plays there. We were able to fake a couple of punts that were huge for the offense, just staying on the field. But one that really sticks out to me is late in the game, we had a 4th down, and we call a play, come out of a timeout, decide to go for it, call a play that honestly in practice hadn't looked great all week, but we felt like it was still a good play against them. Which I think shows the trust that Coach Jackson has in those guys to call the play. So Luke can either run it or he can throw a slant to tip, and he throws the slant. It's tight coverage, but I think it too just kind of goes back to how much those guys trust each other. That at a big moment in that game, a 4th down we really needed to make, that Luke trusts that his guy's going to make a play.
So one of the things that I pride myself on, and they don't get enough love, and that's just the way it is, but I think I have the best set of backups in the state on the defensive line. I think my twos could start for just about anybody, and we had a starter out the first half, and guys were picking up that slack, and you really didn't see a huge drop-off. But Caleb Bell is a very, very special player, and when he came in the first play of the second half, he knocked that Gainesville quarterback out, and it really, really set a tone. They then went 3 and out, gave the ball back to our offense. Our offense did what our offense does, and that was really, really the first moment of that game where you start thinking, all right, we got this.
So I've been telling people this, and that there's a lot of memorable moments from that, because I just thought the experience was incredible. Playing on TV, the lights, the feeling in the stadium before the game, you could just feel that it was a big game. The sound system, the bands, the intensity of our kids, theirs, it's what high school football is about. You could feel it. But I keep telling people the thing I remember the most from that game was I heard one of our kids yelling at one of theirs in the third quarter when we started to take control of the game. It wasn't that he was being mean to the kid, but I think he was just saying it out loud. He was just saying, you don't know what it's like to win a big game like this. Our kids are so trained here, and that's the first thing I learned when I got here, that they know how to win. They don't know any other way. They're going to fight. They don't think anybody can beat them. From the time I got here in 22 to now, they just they just win. Whether we get down, whether we get up, the winning spirit here just flows out of this place. And it is incredible to be a part of, but to watch the kids tell other people that you don't know what it's like. It encapsulated to me that grit that is here, the brotherhood, the effort, the toughness. It wasn't that he was trying to be mean to that kid. He was giving that out as, you don't know what it's like. We win here. We win big games because we're just gonna win. And I just thought it was a really neat moment. He wasn't cursing at him. He wasn't being mean. He was just giving out his energy of, we're gonna win because we win.
One play that I really loved was the tush push. We had 3 of them, but the one I was in. The one I was in, it was third quarter or fourth quarter, and it was just on the goal line and just showed me that the team, not just me, but everyone else had a great perseverance and wanted the best in the end.
You had to come out here and prove who you were tonight. You had to come out here and remind everybody you are the number 3 team in the country. You are the number 1 team in the States. And we don't have to do that. That's part of being at the top of the mountain. You got to go out and prove it from time to time. But tonight, it truly was our show and our house. It was our show, our house tonight. Let's break that down. Hey, our show on 3. Our show on 3. 1, 2, 3. Our show!
In the locker room, there's no animosity really between me and Johns Creek. I just wanted to give them more so all the reasons that I'm here and the reasons that it hurt me to not be here and why I wanted to come back, and that they didn't really understand that and they were a little upset with me. And I just challenged the boys to show our culture and everything that we're about and prove to them why I'm here and love this place so much.
Homecoming game, last one, got to put on a show. Last one, just got to make it my moment. It's just about to be fun. Let's do it.
FBG going crazy. I think my favorite memory was when our very first touchdown, because I've never been in a game like that. Threw it all the way down to CJ got a touchdown, being able to be the first guy up there and just feeling the hype, just feel the whole fans going crazy and just feeling that emotion with everyone and like my brothers was just incredible feeling for me.
To me, what will always be memorable about the Johns Creek game is I did not make it about me, nor would I ever do such a thing. But the boys did. The boys did, and it was really, really important for them to make sure that I knew they had my back and that they were going to go out and do it for me, and they were going to show them, who we are. And it really, really, goes back to our culture of brotherhood. And I felt a strong sense of brotherhood from the players rallying around me and doing it for me, and that really meant a lot to me for sure.
Yeah, so I think you're about to interview him, but Will Bracey had a crazy block on a kickoff return where he laid a kid out. And I heard it, And I looked and I saw him standing over a kid, and it's really great to see someone like him on special teams making a big impact for the team and making that kind of play.
For me, the most memorable moment was my pancake block on kickoff return, and just it kind of hyped me up and made me ready for the rest of the game and got my adrenaline rushing. So.
Down, like, it was obviously a run call to him. I pulled the ball because I was selfish.
Hey, next time you do that, I'm slapping his hand. I'm slapping.
Stick
your hand out. Stick your hand out right now. Like that. Come on.
Too slow, boy. Wait, we play the game like this.
Gotcha.
One of the things about the Johns Creek game that was really cool was that Ridge Tholen got to start. He's a senior. Him starting that game was really cool. I really liked that, just that he had the opportunity to do that. And we got some guys that were able to get some varsity reps in that game, and it was great. But being able, for Ridge to get a start was really cool because he shows up every day. He gives you everything he's got. He's an awesome kid. That was my biggest takeaway from that game, thinking about it, was being able for Ridge to go out there and start was awesome. I really, really liked that.
Your place be going up.
They gotta sponsor me, gang. They gotta sponsor me.
Congratulations,
I eat back
Walker.
5 of these on game day. It's not healthy for an athlete, bro. Don't do that.
Milton's never gone 10-0 before, ever. It'll be the first championship we win this year in front of that sold-out crowd with Roswell on the other sideline. So come on Monday, ready to zone back in, man. I'm happy, I'm proud of you, but come with that switch flipped on Monday, because it's on, and it's an important week, and it means a lot. All right, but I'm proud of y'all tonight. Everybody had a great time, everybody executed well. Let's get a break and enjoy this one, man.